Well, joining us tonight first from Mumbai is the BJP's Shaina NC. Shaina, very interesting position there, and some would say a controversial one by the government in the Supreme Court. Does this effectively mean that India has given up its claim on the Kohinoor?
No, clearly not. But look at how many people are staking their claim on the Kohinoor. That's also something you must highlight, Nidhi. Whether it is Bangladesh, whether it's Pakistan, whether it is even David Cameron in his own statement saying that gifts that I've received are not returned. I mean, what does that say? So I think that please don't question the intent of the government. The government will do what we can. This is not just about it being a 108-carat diamond, but it's also the pride of India. And I think it's a symbol that shows that whether we had our erstwhile great kings from Andhra Pradesh who actually did procure this rare diamond, it's imperative that we show the political will and the conviction, which we clearly will do. The honorable courts have suggested what should be the course of action. But having said that, we must understand that you cannot just wake up one fine day and say that we want the Kohinoor back, because there are so many claimants and there is a huge history that goes along with this rare diamond. And of course, Mr. Cameron's statement on record to suggest that he is in no mood to return any kind of gift that has been handed out to them.
But Shaina, you're saying that India hasn't given up its claim, but when the government tells the Supreme Court that it was a gift, it was not stolen, it wasn't forcibly taken away. When the Solicitor General says that if we start saying that the Kohinoor should be given back to us, other countries will say, give us back our treasures, and then there'll be nothing left in our museums. I mean, that's pretty much saying it. That's saying that, look, we're not going to, stake claim to the Kohinoor. We've given up any sentimentality over it.
Well, I think there are two aspects to this debate. Now, if I'm going to sit on your channel and say that no, our government is going to get the Kohinoor back, how many people would actually believe it? Because it's not in our possession to return. It is in the possession of somebody else, and that somebody else, we can only persevere a cause or project the kind of national pride attached to this rare diamond. But I think what is important to understand is that in particular rare cases, and what the Supreme Court has said, it has been said in national sentiment, it is for the government to do what it thinks is correct in terms of legal recourse and legal action, which I'm sure the best consultants, whether it is the Attorney General of India or other legal luminaries who can suggest what kind of a case we can plead. But I think it's imperative to understand that if so many years down, anybody else has this kind of a response towards other rare commodities that are, say for example, in possession of India, you're right. I mean, it could almost amount to our museums being bare of some of its rarest of rare treasures.
So let me ask Samark Tali, who's here with us in the studio, to give us some perspective on this, because many have argued that if India lays claim to the Kohinoor, there are actually, Afghanistan that's asking for it. I think the Taliban had asked for it to be returned to them. Pakistan has laid claim to it. India has laid claim to it. So where does it stop? I mean, who does it actually belong to? Because the diamond actually has a very checkered and complicated history from where it came.
Well, I have perhaps a strange idea. I feel that things like the Kohinoor should be accepted as global treasures. We have World Heritage Sites, UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Why can't we have UNESCO World Heritage Properties? And I think what David Cameron should say is not that we have the Kohinoor or it is ours or anything like that. He should simply say that this is a world treasure and we are the custodians of it, or some word like that, which does not imply ownership, and with all the controversial aspects that ownership gives it.
And so therefore it would remain in Britain, but as you're saying, as a World Heritage property.
Yes, it would remain in Britain, and when British Prime Ministers talked about it and Indians asked for it back, they would say that, look, there are reasons why we cannot give it back, and there are good reasons. As you've rightly said, there's the whole question of should it go back to Afghanistan, should it go back to Pakistan? After all, where it came from, the Sikh Empire of Ranjit Singh, the capital was Lahore, not in India now even. But the idea would be that Britain would not say, this is our property and we're jolly well going to keep it and no one else is going to have it. But Britain should say, this is a world treasure.
What did you think of Shashi Tharoor's speech at Oxford recently, where he said that the British should return the Kohinoor as a way of reparations to India for 200 years of exploitative colonial rule?
Well, I just don't believe that that is true, and I don't think it's possible that it will happen
Nidhi, that's
either.
a suggestion.
And we can't reverse history. There's this ridiculous idea some people have that you can reverse history, put things right which have gone wrong before. You can learn from history, certainly, but you can't reverse history.
So, Dr. Ajoy Kumar, let's get the Congress's perspective on this. Is this a position that the position that Shashi Tharoor took, for once, something that the Congress party actually agrees with as a party when he said that the diamond should be brought back as reparations for colonial rule? And do you believe that effectively today, by saying what it has in the Supreme Court, that the government has given up its claim on the diamond?
Look, Nidhi, one thing is very clear, that the Ghar Wapasi of neither Kohinoor or Malia or Lalit Modi is going to happen. And I was listening to Shaina, and the way the double speak of the Bharatiya Janata Party is unbelievable, because they say in the Supreme Court that it was a gift. And if they say that, then under the Antiquities Act, you cannot bring it back. So the first question is, you're giving up the right to bring back the Kohinoor. And there are various other governments, like Greece government, which is asking for the Elgin marbles. There is the Canadian government, which has been able to get back the Heisler totem pole. The South Korean government has been able to get the Japanese to return their treasures. So it's a difficult proposition, but it's not that you can walk away from it. But the issue is, the BJP and the RSS continues to say something and then goes about letting down the interest. Today, by the way, is the World Heritage Day, and on World Heritage Day, Mr. Modi's government decides to, because the RSS, one sec, Saina, because Indresh Kumar of the RSS, if you remember, he's in the RSS, said that we should get the Kohinoor back. And since your ideological motivator, controller is the RSS, so I was just quoting what the RSS says. But the fact is, Nidhi, as a country...
But Ajoy Kumar, let me, one second, politics aside, one second, China.
Of millions of Indians.
One second.
One
second. My question to Ajoy Kumar is, politics aside for a minute, let's try to look at this rationally. Where, as Sir Mark Tully said, and as other, historians have pointed out, certainly there is a strong sentiment to bring the diamond back. But where does it stop? Who does it actually belong to? That will always be a big question. Does it does it belong to India? Does it belong to Afghanistan? Is this a precedent? I mean, can we really ask for it back? In that sense, has the government stand today in court actually been very practical?
No, it's not practical, because first of all, the same government,
Nidhi, the government
continues to talk and say that we will
yeah.
bring another jumla like the black money on bringing the Kohinoor back is their political rhetoric, whether it is Mr. Amit Shah or everybody else. The fact is that the historical artifacts is a long road, whether it is the paintings which the Nazi Germany stole, but you can pursue it. The question is, the government has closed all the windows and doors to get it back. And they have sacrificed the interest of the Indians. It's like Mark has correctly said, it's a difficult task. Yes, it is a difficult task. Could it become a global heritage? Yes. But what have they done? They've let the British say that it is mine, you can keep it. And who is benefiting? Pakistan, which is claiming today. So what I'm trying to say is, this government, which continues to say something on the public platform and surreptitiously does something in the Supreme Court, is unbelievable in its duplicity.